Welcome back to Conversations Over Coffee. This week, I got to talk with Joanna Clay, our Director of Content and Production here at Practicing Excellence. We had a wonderful conversation about her work here and her creativity and leadership that she expresses every single day. We absolutely adore Joanna here at Practicing Excellence, and I am so excited for you all to meet her. Well, so currently you serve as Director of Content and Production here at Practicing Excellence. Can you tell us a little bit about your day-to-day and those responsibilities in that role?
Absolutely. So it looks like a balance of several things I love to do, and I've also just grown into over the several years I've been here at Practicing Excellence. So primarily, it's being an editor. I get to write and edit our scripted content, all created by our content development team for our microlearning programs. And this part of the role is about bringing many voices together in harmony to create, the one singular voice that sort of represents our mission and vision throughout every script and every program. So that's kind of the primary part of the role. I also recruit and lead faculty through our entire production process. I connect with them and personally, and also introduce, walk them through how does this all work initially, and then they meet our content specialists, video editors, and other supportive folks in the team as they partner through the whole time creating coaching tips with us. So faculty interaction is just a big part of it, and I love to meet what is now our list of 40 to 50 faculty members we've built over time, and each one of them brings something different and unique. So
yeah.
One other part of the role I just wanted to add to is it's just a little bit strategic. I spend a lot of time with leaders and other departments in the company, listening to feedback from clients and faculty, and just to determine the top priorities for content when we need to create, a timely program or an immediate request comes through. We're able to be really agile and still maintain pretty realistic timelines and deadlines, and just be responsive to the needs in healthcare.
A fun fact I learned recently about you is that you're actually a board member and producer at an amateur theater company. Can you tell us more about your work in the theater?
I sure can. You have spoken to my theater nerd heart, so get ready for the answer. So basically born out of a group of my friends in college. We several of them lived in this historic house near campus. So one day they asked, why don't we put on an improv play in this dusty old attic of this 100-year house? And so we did. And there were duct tape costumes and terrible practical effects and zero budget. So just crazy ideas and people who wanted to do them, basically. So I was a part of that. And none of this was about being polished or award-winning performance. I always like to talk about it, that it was about people coming together to do something that brought them joy. And in the process, I made some incredible friends and still talk and work with them today. And we pulled off a number of quite interesting theatrical productions. Within the kind of the 8-year span we were doing this a lot, we made some different parody musicals based on our 90s pop culture love, things like Jurassic Park, the musical 3D. It was sort of a 360-degree show. We also did X-Files, the musical, which is exactly as it sounds. Then we also happened to produce Spider-Man, the musical. So that was a parody of a Broadway show. So and weird was good in this time. So
all of those sound fantastic.
Yeah.
Sad I missed it.
Yeah, well, I missed it a lot, actually. Yeah. So the big thing that I like to highlight is I got to experiment in all of these shows as a stage manager, executive producer, kind of solve odd problems specialist. So it was a big creativity incubator in hindsight. And all that to say, we turned it into a 501c3 ultimately, and it was something that impacted the arts community in my hometown. And but it's sort of on hiatus at this point where we've all grown our families and careers, but I will say the magic is still there. So I anticipate a revival someday, I hope.
So Joanna, what are some things that you look forward to most while working?
I'd say probably one of my favorite parts of the role is seeing the individual talents and the strength of both sides of our team, really the content and production team. So I would say they amaze me and everyone in the company on a regular basis. So personally, there's like a special kind of pride and joy that comes with reading a well-written story inside a tip crafted by one of our content specialists. And equally, I enjoy when that text comes to life on the screen because of the skills and expertise of all of our video specialists. So beyond this, I would say what I love daily is just the challenge and the creativity of what it takes to bring together like every component of building an effective micro-learning program, as we call it here. So that involves talking to faculty, determining our goals, learning objectives for the program and the skills, translating, on the floor stories into actionable challenges to go try with teams and with other clinicians. So that challenge of packaging everything in a way that ensures that we're making an impact, we're meeting the needs of clients, and we're helping clinicians thrive. That drives me to do what we do pretty much every day.
Well, looking at your resume, and obviously we just talked about this, but you have a clear streak of creativity in both writing and in other ventures like theater. I was hoping you could go through what brought you down this path. What was your inspiration, that fire?
Yeah, certainly. The fire was born early, I would say, and I often like to call myself a word nerd because it's been there for many decades. And I would say the inception was around age 10 when I joined the school newspaper and created handouts on green paper using word art. So, little elementary me got the bug at that point. So in high school, I discovered my love for writing more formally, and trying to create my own websites on the platforms at the time, GeoCities then, and then I wrote a lot of captions for yearbook and journalism that I enjoyed probably like a little too much, but that turns into wanting to find the right words for the right piece of content, the right moment. And so in my academic years, I spent a lot of time in journalism, English, and then ultimately graduated with a history degree, which gave me the skills really and refined them in a way that helps me do what I do every day, which is research and writing. Still the same thing, still the same process. So after that, I spent some years as a copywriter, tech publication editor, and through that time, I learned how to write for numerous C-level and like decision maker audiences. Which has been a great kind of boot camp in my time as a writer. And so I like to say I've learned to write many languages, and all of them are English. So meaning I love finding the words and the stories that connect to diverse groups and being a change maker in that way. So kind of to wrap up my thoughts there, just the process of production and publishing, everything that kind of goes into it. It's always been one I find extremely rewarding. And so personally, I'm honored that I get to enjoy it and grow in that work every day.
I can tell you from just working with you, it's been a great honor, and we're very grateful to have you. You have such immense power, and just when you get into that creative mind, it's fantastic to see you work. So thank you. Thank you for doing this with me as well, for joining Conversations Over Coffee. Hope we can have another one in the future.
I'm here for it. Thank you.